Hey guys, Sri Lanka Sammi, welcome to the last live stream in Sri Lanka. I am a few hours away from leaving, heading to Cebu, and yes, for all of you wondering, Cebu is safe, nothing's wrong. I spoke with the people over there. I got 7 hours till I have to leave to go to the airport. So I got an hour on the live stream, I got an hour break, I got 3 hours of classes, and then I start packing. Well, I don't start packing, I finish packing. I gotta pack up the computer, a couple of cables, clean up my desk, shower and shave for the flight, and then head over to the airport. So those of you who don't know, there was a 6.9 earthquake about 50 kilometers north of Cebu, about 60 kilometers north of where I'm staying. And Cebu and Lapu-Lapu are two different cities, about 10, 15 minutes apart from each other. And where I am was on the very, very edge of the impact zone. So here's the thing, when the news says Cebu, they're using the closest major city. So it's like, they're not gonna say Bogo City because nobody knows where Bogo City is, but that's where everything happened. That's where all the deaths happened, that's where all the damage happened, that's where all the videos are from. You go to Cebu City and it's just this. Okay. Anuj is there. He said he was in the shower in his hotel room on the 10th or 18th floor or whatever, and he just felt the building swaying. It was nothing. Everybody else, there was no damage in Cebu. There was a slight power issue, but okay. So, and then people saying, oh, well, it's not safe. Absolutely, it's safe. And it's going to be even safer because there's going to be less people there, and it's going to be better. I was looking at the Korean forums, and they're all like, oh, it's dangerous, we shouldn't go. And I'm like, when you crack your knuckles once, you've relieved the pressure, or you crack your neck, you can't crack it again until the pressure rebuilds, right? So now that the slip has happened and the earthquake has occurred, yeah, it could occur someplace else, but that whole area, that plate has now moved. So it's relieved the pressure. It got stuck and then it moved. Okay, that's how plate tectonics work. People don't understand how plate tectonics work, and they don't understand that this situation is not going to repeat itself in the near term. Yes, there were aftershocks, and that's a beautiful thing. If you don't get an aftershock, then you have a problem. So just Google it and check it out. It's very safe. There's no problems. I'm absolutely not worried whatsoever for tsunami, for anything. Well, there was no tsunami. There wasn't even a warning. So I spoke to Tim, who lives there, and he says electricity and water are up and running. Anuj says there's no problems. There was a tiny problem with like spotty electricity and spotty internet, and water was shut off as a safety until they checked the pressure in the pipes to ensure that no pipes were broken. Because if they keep the pressure going and then the pipe is broken, it's going to break the road and cause more damage. So they just shut everything off until they could check, and then they turned it back on. So as of today, nothing, absolutely nothing. The airport's open. Actually, last night I tracked my flight, and it landed. It landed at 7 in the morning, 12 hours after the initial. Sorry, it landed at 2 in the afternoon. 18 hours after the incident. Whatever. Anyway, it landed. So there was no issue. There was no issue, no problems with the airport. I checked, double checked, triple checked. I checked the flights. I Googled it. I checked the website. Everything is fine. Nobody needs to worry. I'm going to be okay. I'm not going to go if it's dangerous. And first, I'm not going to invite Lady Sarah to come if it's dangerous. There's no problem. She didn't even know. And I've when I was in Subic Bay 3 years ago, I went through a 4.9, 5.1. This one was a 6.1 to a 6.9, depending on who you go through. But that was at the epicenter. Where Cebu was, it was like a 4. You know, it wasn't anything. The one I experienced in Subic was very close, but it only lasted 30 seconds. This one was about 45 seconds to a minute. It was nothing. The aftershocks were 4s and 5s. There was 3 major aftershocks and dozens of small ones that you couldn't even feel. So, so what happens is, just so you know, plate tectonics. So one plate hits another plate and then it gets stuck, right? It gets stuck like this. It gets stuck on a knot or something like that and gets stuck. And then the pressure builds from the behind here and then it slips, right? And the pressure is relieved and then it settles like that. It settles down. So that's where the aftershocks are occurring. So that's just basic geography. That's what I remember from my high school geography. So you guys can look that up and learn that there's no danger. Anuja's parents texted me and they're like, I've never spoken to these people before in my life. I had no idea who they were. I don't know how they got my number, but Anuj was asleep. I texted him right away. I got a notification on my phone of the emergency alert. I asked him, everything okay? He says, yeah, we just felt a little rumble and went back to sleep. I texted Anuj, he texted me right back. He says, yeah, we're out on the street. They called on the PA for everybody to evacuate so that they could do a safety check. And about 40 minutes later, he says, yeah, we're back inside, no problem. His parents texted me this morning, he's asleep. He was out partying all night. I know that, I'm not gonna tell his parents, but I wrote a big letter to them saying, listen, don't worry about it. It's very safe. I explained the tectonics. I explained that there's no issues and that it's so far away, because a lot of people don't understand geography, that when the news says Cebu, they're using the closest popular city. So to give you an example, if there was a accident in Paris, but it was 40, 50, 60 kilometers away in a town called Marine. They wouldn't say Marine, France, because nobody knows where that is. They would say Paris. And then in the details of the story, they would get into like outside of Paris, 50, 60 kilometers away. But nobody hears that, nobody listens. They think, oh, Paris, oh my God, you know, right? So, and then you have to remember that Cebu City is a modern city. There are smaller homes and houses that were damaged and poor in neighborhoods, of course, yeah, but that's not where we're staying. I mean, Anuj is staying in one of the most modern buildings in the city, IT Park Plaza. I'm staying in a condo that was built 2 years ago, 2 to 4 years ago. So they're all built with, because Philippines is in a ring of fire, they're built to earthquake-proof levels. So not worried. When I experienced the earthquake in Subic Bay 3 years ago, I was more excited than scared. I was like, wow, because I've never experienced an earthquake. I felt a 3.9. I didn't feel, I just saw the water moving in the glass, in the bottles, on the, because I was up high in Seoul. Seoul gets hit with like 4s a lot, but those you can barely feel because they're minor. They happen way out in the ocean and it ripples through the city. So, and because it happens so far away, it doesn't really affect the city. Let me just double check, make sure all right, so yeah, the sound is working perfectly. All right, so yeah, everything's fine. Cebu is fine. I'm not worried. There's not going to be anything else. There's not going to be volcanoes or anything like that. No, don't worry. I'm okay. Everyone's okay. Everyone that I know there is safe. So we're getting ready. We are getting ready. I have to actually, after this, I have to take everything out of my luggage and repack everything because I have way too much stuff. I just realized I just unplugged a few things from the computers. I turned off this one, and this one is getting ready to be packed up. I've pulled out a lot of things, and I still realized I have a heck of a lot of stuff I still need to pack. So I got to pull out a bunch of stuff out of the my main luggage, because normally I take 3 bags. This time I'm only taking 2, but I have 47 kilos. I have 40 kilos in check and 7 kilos in carry-on. But the luggage, I need to strategically pack it, and I'm going to put more clothes in the carry-on and more heavy stuff in that. So it's not heavy, it's space. I'm running out of space. So there's no way that bag is 40 kilos. It's probably about 32 right now. So with everything else that I put in there, it's going to just come under the 40 kilos. I've never come close to going over 40 kilos. Never. I'm usually, when I pack for travel with my standard packing stuff, I am around 30, 32 kilos. Last time I was I was about 32, 34 kilos when I went to Sepik 3 years ago. When I travel, I keep it under 20 kilos when I travel on vacation. But I carried a ton of stuff last time. I think I upgraded my luggage to 30 kilos. I think I did that. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Anyway, I'm freaking out. I'm ready to go. I'm so excited. Lady Sarah, this morning, she did her Philippine immigration. She did her check-in. I'm already done with all of that. I'm already checked. I have auto check-in with Singapore Airlines. I'm excited. I can't wait. So the driver is coming, and we're leaving the house at 9 p.m. to get to the airport by 9:30. My flight is midnight. 9:30, 10 o'clock, I'll be in the lounge, and I have 2 hours. 2 hours to chill out. Well, an hour and a half. I have 90 minutes to eat, relax, have a drink, because I'm definitely going to have a couple drinks to put me to sleep, because I'm excited. Get on the plane. The plane for the last 3 or 4 days has left on about time. I have a 3-hour layover, which is perfect because I can get a shower and have something to eat in Singapore, because I'm flying business class. And I love Singapore. I'm going to do a nice video in Singapore. You guys should see that airport. It's insane. And then when I land, I have bought a eSIM card, a travel eSIM card for 1 day. Well, it's for a week, but I'm only going to use it for 1 day because I don't want to waste time at the airport. I don't want to waste time lining up and doing all the blah, 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 because I have a limited amount of time, daylight hours. Because what I want to accomplish, I land at 2 p.m. local time. Based on my calculations, because I'm in business class and because of the number of flights landing, I should get through immigration very quickly. Lady Sarah's not going to be so lucky. She's got 5 flights from Korea landing at exactly the same time. 5 different airplanes from Korea. All of those people, and she's in economy. She's going to be 2 hours at least. That's what happened with Princess Jasmine last time. Last time I went to Sepik, I spent a week in Cebu because my family came, and I invited Jasmine to come, and she flew in on this same flight, which lands at 2 a.m. So she was a long time. I'm not even leaving for the airport until 30 minutes after she lands. I mean, if she has to stand around and wait for 15 minutes, I'm 15 minutes away. So, yeah. So I'm going to pick her up. Now, what has to happen is there's so much crap I have to do. So first of all, I got to get to the hotel, which is about 30 minutes from the airport. I've already got the check-in information, not hotel, my Airbnb. Already got the check-in information. I'm going to just drop off my bags and grab a taxi and head over to Tim's place, pick up my deliveries, because part of them is an electrical cord, a UPS, and a beach bag. And I'm going to pick up my motorcycle. I'm going to head back to the apartment, and I'm going to then drive over to the food mart, pick up some fruit, pick up some juice, coconut, and shop for some sea urchin. Lady Sarah really wants some sea urchin when she lands. You know, she's obsessed. And I got to keep the girl happy, right? So I'm going to pick her up some sea urchin. Hopefully I can find some. And then put that in the fridge. When I come home, I'm going to have something to eat because I'm going to pick up some dinner for myself. And then I'm going to start unpacking. So I should be back home. I'm calculating that I will be checked in by 4. I'll be with the motorcycle by 5. I would have shopped by 6 and back home by 7. So sunset. 7 p.m. till 2 a.m. I'll unpack and set up the apartment. And then probably just take a little nap. Call a Grab, I'll do an internet Grab, and then head over to the airport to wait for her. Come back, and I'm going to just let her do her thing. I'm going to sleep. I'm going to be tired because that'll be 24 hours. I'll be awake a long time. Like, I'll sleep on the plane, definitely, but it's a 4-hour flight to Singapore, and then I'll be awake for the transit. I'll be resting, but I'll be awake. But I got to make a video, so I'm going to be up and around. And then the flight from Singapore to Cebu is another 3-4 hours, and I'll probably be awake for most of that. I'll try to take a quick nap. But again, I got to make a vlog. Landing, running around doing all of that stuff, I'll be exhausted. So I am going to take a nap after I unpack because I need to get up early on Friday morning. Now she's going to sleep in because she's going to be tired. And that's what she does. She's on vacation. So she's going to sleep in. I'm going to head over to the mall, which is about 10 minutes away because I have the motorcycle and I have my international driver's permit and a helmet. And I'm going to get a SIM card, a 1-month SIM card, and exchange my money. So I'm going to exchange a little bit of money at the airport. I'm not sure. I'm going to look at the lineup for the money exchange. I'm going to look at the lineup for the ATM, and I'm going to choose which one has less of a line. And I'm just going to take out, maybe $100. I'm going to exchange $100 or take out $100. What else? Yeah, that's it. But I want to say thanks to you, everyone. Oh my gosh. The channel, wow. Let me tell you something. I didn't realize how poorly my old channel was doing compared to this channel. I was looking back on my old channel, and it took me, I think, 2 years to get monetized. I'm going to do it here in 3 or 4 months. It took me 13 months to get 20,000 views. I've got 20,000 views in 45 days. The amount of hours watched, I've increased. The number of subscribers at the same time period, like after 45 days, is way more. I did this comparison. I'm like, it's not even comparable. I don't know what I was doing. 2018 is when I started my first channel. Right? But I mean, I'm at my channel's height versus what I'm doing today is still not comparable. But we'll see what happens with the Cebu trip. Let me tell you, last time I was in Cebu, I saw a huge spike in views and in hours watched. And when I do the analytics and I take out the shorts, just talking the live and the vlogs, when I just view those stats, it is 100% non-Sri Lankan, 99%. I don't have a lot of Sri Lankans watching my vlogs because, again, it's focused specifically to non-South Asians, non-Southeast Asians who are interested in retiring. And the age range is in the senior range, 40, 35 and plus. I'm looking at the analytics every day, and it's just absolutely incredible. So I'm really trying my best. I'm finding my footing, okay? So I'm going to try my best. And I said this in a couple of vlogs, a couple of comments. I'm not here to do vlogs on the cost of living. I will, but I'm not going to like break down retirement packages. I'm not going to break down a lot of things to specifics because the information becomes stale, and then the vlog is not worth anything. And then when people start to watch it, and then they find that it's old information, they'll click off of it, or they'll put a down arrow, and that ruins the algorithm. And I'm sorry to say this because Darren yells at me all the time about it. You know, he says, don't be a slave to the algorithm. But, you know, brother, let me tell you something. I'm doing this for a purpose. I'm doing it, number one, for me. And if it helps you, great. But I am doing it for me. And for me, I need to earn, I need to monetize, and I need to earn, you know? So that's why I'm doing it. So in the interim, if I can help you guys, then I will. So that's why I have this, right? So you can buy me a coconut if you want to support. Otherwise, once I get monetized, watch a commercial. What you can do right now is you can watch a video all the way through. Watch many videos all the way through. Just keep it playing in the background. Click that thumbs up. Comment, share. That really gets the channel out there to other people just like you. I had another person comment that, you know, it says Sri Lankan Sammi retired in Southeast Asia. Well, Sri Lanka is not Southeast Asia. True, but this is my home base. And I can't say Sri Lankan in Southeast Asia. It's very confusing. So I did a lot of analytics on the title. Okay, and the title is part of the search engine, right? So I did a lot of that. And then the description. So, you know, in my description, in my welcome video, it says specifically what it is that I'm trying to accomplish. You know, I'm a semi-retired Canadian guy living in Sri Lanka, looking to retire in Southeast Asia. This is my journey, going from semi-retirement to full retirement. Join me on that adventure. Let's learn how I got here and what I'm doing to achieve the goal in the next 2 to 3 years. And this is part of it. So, you know, enough said on that. I'm not going to harp on it, but I'm going to probably have to over the next little while. So today is the end of Sri Lankan Sammi. Starting in a few hours, it will be Sammi in Supik. That'll be my nickname. It'll still be the same channel name. It'll still be, you know, Retire in Southeast Asia with Sammi. Is that the name of my channel? Retire in Southeast Asia with Sammi, yeah. I keep saying Sri Lankan Sammi retired in Southeast Asia, but it's Retire in Southeast Asia with Sammi. I'm Sri Lankan Sammi. So yeah, hopefully you guys are doing well. Listen, if you are interested, you have any questions, please post them below. Let me know where you're calling from, how you're doing, what's going on, you know, and then we can have a conversation, because I would like to start a community of people talking to each other, not just talking to me and me answering you, but you guys talking to each other. I've said this before, and I'm going to say it again. I'm going to start something in January, or maybe sooner. It all depends on my schedule and how much time I have to put into it. Once I get monetized, that's when I'm going to do it. Is start like a forum off of YouTube where we can put all the information for you guys. Now, it is going to be members only. You're going to have to join. I'm going to see what that looks like. But it's going to be vetted. So everybody has to join. Everybody has to go through like a vetting process so that there's no, so that it's a supportive community of like-minded people. So what does that look like? We'll figure it out. Are we going to use Facebook? Are we going to use Discord? We're going to make it. I'm going to be asking you guys a lot too. I'm going to have a poll and everything like that, and we'll figure out how to do it. And obviously, the veterans, the ones who are here from day one, or you guys, I'm going to invite you in. Don't worry about it. You're all going to be invited. But new people are going to have to, because we don't know who you are. We don't want to have the wrong kind of people in there. I want it to be a positive place. Just like this, again, there's a lot of you who make comments I don't fully agree with. There's even just last week, there was someone who posted something and they were very bitter. They weren't against me, it was just a generalization, and they were not a happy person, and it was very sad. And I felt really bad for them, but they were very angry. I could feel it in the comment. And, the backhanded, not compliment, but double entendre or whatever. It wasn't conducive to a positive interaction. So I felt really bad for them that they couldn't see beyond, right? And that's the problem. A lot of people who are struggling can't seem to break out of it. It's sad. It's so sad. But I'm freaking out. I want to get to my luggage and get all of this done, and because once I get the luggage done, then I can go have a shower and shave, clean myself up, start to get into that. I'm done everything. All I got to do is get on the plane. Once the luggage is packed and done, then it's over. I descaled and emptied the coffee maker. I threw away a lot of condiments that only I eat. I packed away all my coffee in the freezer so it doesn't. It's going to be for 6 months. The water bottle in the fridge, threw that away. And next I gotta clean the desk. I'm full of dust. I didn't realize how dusty this thing gets. And then I have a bed sheet that I'm gonna cover everything over so that it stays. And I really gotta remember to take the webcam. Oh my God, I gotta remember. I almost forgot to take the speaker. That would have been horrendous because I would have to use the laptop speakers, and they are not good. But I have a portable speaker that I have to take. I almost forgot that. I really got to go through everything and just double, triple, quadruple check that I'm taking everything. And that's why I'm going to unpack everything and just repack it. It's going to be a nice little adventure. Anyway, so guys, I'm going to keep this one short today unless you have any questions. If you're online, let's chat. Let me know if you have any questions. Otherwise, I'm going to wrap it up pretty quickly today because I have 90 minutes before my next class, and I want to just get onto this luggage thing before I have to do it last minute. And I want to do it in the sunlight. I don't want to do it in the dark because I finish at 7:30, and I have to leave at 9:30. So if you're online and if you have any questions or comments, let me know. You want to ask any questions about Cebu, my Cebu trip, want to ask anything about retirement, about lifestyle, about health, please go ahead and ask. I'm more than happy to talk to you guys about that. I don't know why the video is looking a little choppy. How's the audio? Let's just double check. Yeah, it sounds good. It just doesn't look good. I think it's the internet connection. There's something wrong. Not wrong. It's weak. Maybe. Oh, I forgot to tell you guys. My SLT, my Sri Lanka Telecom bill came through, and they back billed me for 6 months, $300. And they're like, "Oh, you have to pay this." I'm like, "You took me 5 months to send me the bill. I'm going to take 5 months to pay it." So while I'm gone, I'm just going to back pay that because I turned off the service and I reduced it to like a couple thousand rupees a month because they could only. I talked about this last time. They could only disconnect it or suspend it for 3 months. So I have to pay for 3 months, but I only have to pay like 6,000, which is $20, something like that. That's okay. Yeah, so Cebu is going to be fun because after the first or second week, after our news leaves, after the 18th, we're going to get down to into retirement mode. November, I will start for 1 month. I will start tracking exactly how much I spent. Now, what I'm going to do is October is going to be a wash because I'm going to be going out, enjoying vacation mode. November, I will live a budget lifestyle. I will live a very low cost, minimal lifestyle. Obviously, I don't drink. Obviously, I don't do anything else like that. I'm not going to party. I'm going to work, exercise, and hang out with friends. And, eat local food. So I'm going to show you guys what a low cost budget is. And then I'm going to exclude rent because part of this trip in November and December, I'm going to be exploring how much a 1-year rental will cost. I found a couple of places online and I know I can find it cheaper. I found some places for $200 a month, studio apartment in a condo with a swimming pool and a gym, but you have to pay condo fee and electricity and water, which is not even another $50. So between 200 and 350 a month, USD. Okay. On the low end, it's like 250. On the high end, it's 350 to 400 for a studio or 1 bedroom in Lapu-Lapu that I've seen online. I am 90% sure I can find my place that I want. I'm going to try to negotiate 200, but I'm pretty sure I'm going to have to pay 250. But I'm going to try to get it for a year, for next year, and talk to the landlord and negotiate a deal for next year. I'm not going to pay anything now, but I'm going to say, look, this is the place I want. I'm going to book it now, reservation, and 6 months before, I'll pay you. Just keep it on hold for me. We're talking a year from now, right? So I'm pretty sure most people are more interested in having a 1-year, 2-year deal. So if I can find a place for 250, let's say that, and then all my other numbers come in, then I'll be able to afford living there. I just want to go through a couple of months to see how much it costs me to live. I mean, I can do guesses by using ChatGPT, by figuring out, what the monthly costs are for everything. But when you go to a yearly cost, it reduces that price, especially the most expensive thing, which is rent. Food, you can always reduce your food. You just don't eat out. You cook. And then socializing is the biggest cost. You got to manage that, but that can be done frugally as well. I'm a beach guy, so just heading down to the beach and enjoying the beach is just what I want to do. The other tip that I want to do in Cebu is that if I can get a place in Mactanuta, which is the village, then access to the beach is free, to the private beach is free as a resident. It's like a country club. So that would be a bonus if I can get it. And those are modern condos above a mall, shopping mall, and in the beach, in the hotel district. They're more expensive, but I'm 90% sure I can find a place. I'm 90% sure. I just got to go knocking on doors. And that's the thing. The ones that are advertised online have a premium. The ones that are just a sign in the lobby, those are, you know, whatever. You guys know what I mean. Anyway, so I'm going to wrap it up today, unless you guys have any questions. Going once, going twice, going 3 times. I see you coming online and dropping off. So, guys, let me know if you have any questions. I'm more than happy to, or just say hi. Just say hi. So, yeah, we are going to wrap up early today. I'm leaving in a few hours. The next live stream will be on, I'm going to try to do a Sunday morning live stream. It's going to be tight. Maybe I'll do a Saturday night live stream. But the next Cebu video will come out on the 6th, I think. October 6th. When is the next Cebu video? I got a bunch of preparatory videos already booked in the system and uploaded. So let's see, the next Cebu video is the 9th, which will be today's video. I'm filming today's video and it'll be uploaded on the 9th. It'll be published on the 9th. So I'm going to record it today and I'm going to be a week behind, 7 to 8 days. But I'm going to be posting every day. I'm going to be posting 5 days a week. Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, Friday, Saturday. And Wednesday, Sunday are live streams. So I'm going to be doing 5 videos a week for you guys because I'm going to have a lot of content, especially in October. So get ready for that. What else? I really do hope you guys join me for the Cebu adventure. It's going to be exciting. It's going to be a lot of fun. It's going to be vacation mode for the first 18 days, 3 weeks, and then we're going to settle down into retirement life, which is what normally happens. As soon as you retire and move to a new place, you kind of go crazy and party and get into that vacation mode. And then reality kicks in and you got to like settle down. So that's what we're going to do. I hope you guys join me. I'm Sri Lankan Sammi, retired in Southeast Asia. I really want to say thank you to you all and wish you a very happy Asian Thanksgiving. It's called Chuseok. It's the Asian Thanksgiving. And I do hope that you guys join me on this adventure and that you enjoy the content, all right? And remember, learn to live life. Don't let life live you. Be good to each other. Be kind to each other. And remember, we're not strangers. We're just friends who haven't met yet. I'm Sri Lankan Sammi. Guys, we'll see you all on the other side.